All right, all right. Let's do this. Good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. Good morning, Super Earthman, the other JC in the house. Good morning, happy Thursday. Let's get this show on the road. Nasty NASDAQ. All right, let's hop on to the 4-hour ERP media. Let's get right into the pathing. Let's start with the 4-hour. Obviously, we know the story about last week, so I'm going to just hop into current times. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Bulls are in control, right? No secret there. That's the 4-hour. We have this ascending channel playing out from the overnight session. Let's see what else. Bulls are in control. It's the same story now for this week. Bulls had a crazy run from last night. Let's draw that pathing. Let's see. Okay. We got that. Super Earthman. No, I ended up being flat during the morning session yesterday. I did not take trades. I came back in the afternoon, and I think I walked out with a lousy $200. So green is green, but just not impressive last night, or in general yesterday. All right, today, what are we looking at for? So we came up and pushed to the overnight high at 584, right? We've already pushed. We took that pullback very recently. So right now, gap fill rules are in effect, right? We're looking for the gap fill. Yesterday was a nasty, choppy gap fill. Vinny E-Mini Trader, futures trader in the house. Good morning. Morning to everyone. Yesterday, we talked about that 550 level for the short, and that short played out nicely. It was a nasty gap fill. I mean, it was full of chop. So if you held through that, nicely done. Today, we're looking at that gap fill again. So gap fill or gap rules are in effect. Let's see if we can look at, a test of the overnight high again. Previous day high needs to hold. So I could see something where we push back up, and then we have a gap and go and continue the bulls are in control pathing, and we'll have to figure out how to hop on along above overnight high. I could see that play out. If we come and test and finally break down similar to yesterday at the 550 level, right? I don't think we got 550 yesterday. We got 448, and that's where the short trigger was. Then, we're looking at that gap fill all the way down to possibly the 460 area or yesterday's close. The other option would be if I can't hop on a short or it's too choppy, then wait for the move to the downside and then gap fill reversal, right? Something like that. If it's a true gap and go, then we're going to have to find some type of pullback and figure out how to participate for continuation to the upside. During the overnight session, right, we did stay in this range since 1 a.m., right? That was the extended overnight range. We attempted, or the bulls attempted 1, 2, 3 times to push above that 575. Finally look above and fail literally at 8 a.m. We hit 585 and then pull back. So we already had a look above and fail there. That was a trap. Had traps down here getting out of that range. So right now what I'm looking for in terms of pathing is, can the bulls push this back up to the overnight high? Can they continue? Or are we going to have something similar yesterday where we hit overnight high, we hovered there for a little bit, which yesterday overnight high was 550, I think it was. That's where the short triggered right around 550. Well, we hit 548. I was looking at 550, 555, and 548. This short played out yesterday. It was a nasty gap fill, but nonetheless, NQ played its little gap fill. And remember I told you before I left the stream, watch that 410 level. I did see that 410. We had a stop hunt run to 390, I think it was, or 385, and then the long played out. So that's the pathing for today. Going to be patient. Obviously, you know, bulls are in control. Bulls have been in control. It's how do we participate in a long with minimal drawdown and try to capture the right timing, right? It's all about right timing. You can have the right idea. How much drawdown are you going to get to fall back into your right idea? All right, I will be right back. I got to get some coffee and get right to it. All right, so clearly bulls have been in control since the overnight. They've been pushing that in that ascending channel. They came up, they tapered up here, and they've been in that range since about 1:30 a.m. Little chop fest going on there. Obviously, that 580 or the current overnight high where they looked above and failed, and now taking it back down to this level. Previous day high holding, and that's what we're watching for. If the bulls are good, I could see the open where we have a push up to overnight high, and then we'll have to make decisions up here in terms of a pullback, a test, and a push up, or take the short up there. So we got some options. It's going to be timing. What time is it now? 6:23. What do we have in terms of news today? Thursday, June 26th, we have pending home sales at 10 a.m. So before I start yapping away, let me set myself an alarm for 9:55. That way I don't get caught in a position at 10 a.m. There we go. That should work. 30-minute timer. That gives me 5 minutes to get in and out of our position before news. Good morning to everyone. Do me a favor, if you're new to the stream, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. Help me out with the YouTube algo. And let's see what the market gives us. We got 5 minutes till open. Super Earthman, why on Tradeify day chart shows past high of around 22,900, but on TradingView 4-hour chart on same time period it shows we are all in the same all-time high now. I'm assuming Tradeify is using not the contract but the overall MQ as a whole, not a specific contract. And again, I don't have TradingView right now, or Tradeify, sorry. But that's my assumption. It's not basing it on a contract. It's basing it on NQ futures, general. So, let me set I'm going to set a safety stop for any crazy 50-point wicks that I don't want to get caught in, and then we'll adjust stop as we go through the play. 5 minutes till the open. For anybody new to the stream, I'm live from Arizona, so my times are 3 hours behind New York Eastern. I'm not live streaming from the past, but I am 3 hours behind. It is 6:25 here in Arizona. Wake up at the crack of dawn. And let's see. So yesterday, you guys tuned in. I was flat. I could not get triggered. It was just so choppy. There were plays. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't the market. It was me. It's just the price action that I have to adjust to that I'm working on. That's a work in progress. The slow grinds. That short, that 448 short yesterday, with that look above and fail overnight high was beautiful, but it was a chop fest for that gap fill. It played out. It went all back down, all the way back down to 390, but it was choppy. It was nasty. So hopefully we get some better price action today. Michael, yeah, man, we are enjoying 100 degrees. I will say 100 degrees in dry weather is a lot different than 90 degrees in humidity. So we like our dry radiating heat out here. Even during the winter, January, February, we still capture 80-degree days, and our lows are in the 50s, 60s during the winter, or the peak of the winter. So that's the advantage of living in the desert. All right, so we got 3 minutes. Gonna be patient. We're gonna find. We got to find what these bulls want to do, right? They've already attempted 1, 2, 3 times to push above the overnight high, or above the overnight range, and establish the overnight high at around 8 a.m. with a look above and fail, right? Immediate rejection for any traders getting trapped up there. Nice little trap for. And now we're hovering around previous day high. Can we hold previous day high and continue to push up? Or are we going to get some type of bounce right around here? Your 20 SMA initially push up and then fail. Got a couple of options, got a couple paths. If we miss or we get some losses at the beginning, then we'll have to wait for the gap fill if it really wants to come down, possibly a gap fill reversal. All right, here goes the bulls. They want that overnight high and push above. So let's watch. Let's be patient. Hopefully everybody keeps it green. Yesterday I was stuck like a deer in the headlights, not being able to trade, just watching it. And a lot of you captured some nice, what's it called? Scalps. We saw a lot of green in the chat. I was just watching. Sometimes the price action, you just got to learn to accept. Something I've been trying to adapt to this slow grinds. It's not to say that the market didn't give moves yesterday. There were plenty of short opportunities. There were plenty of long opportunities. I'm getting brain fog with the small, slow movements. It's not helping me in any way. So I'm going to have to watch a little bit today, try to get some direction. And that's what we're trying to do, is find overall direction, not get trapped. We could be right, but taking 30, 40 points drawdown to be right, not necessarily a trade. So at least in our intraday scalping world. Swinging, no, nothing wrong with that. All right, casino's open. Let's go. So initial resistance right there at the 200 SMA. We're taking a little pullback there. Maybe an initial pullback to test that 500 area, or if bulls are going to take this as a gap and go, we'll see a immediate push to the upside. 200 SMA initially providing that resistance, both on the 1 minute and 5 minute. Bulls struggling. 200 SMA, they're trying to push above, so they're going to bounce between the 20 and the 200, or for you guys that watch the 9, you're watching those bounces on that 9, which is the blue. But another day of chop, nothing too significant yet. We're at a pivot point, right? That 550 pivot point, that was the short entry yesterday. We're right there. Pivot points are going to be full of indecision. All right, so we came down, tested the 20 held for now. Now we're going back and forth. Are we going to break above the 200? And then next level is testing that overnight high. $200 provide a resistance. So let's let the chop play out. Push this overnight range down a little bit. We just came down to test the bottom of that overnight range, meaning this overall range. So we're at the bottom quadrant of the overnight range. In other words, bulls not being able to establish themselves above the upper quadrant of that overnight range. So bears starting to take control. Question is, how low are we going to go? It's not a question if they're going to go down, it's how low, and where do we want to participate in a possible bounce. Okay, not an impressive push down yet. VWAP down at 530. Okay, that was a strong push below VWAP. Is that the trap to the downside? And now we get the bounce. Let's watch. Hovering at VWAP at 530. However, that wick below VWAP is dangerous. I'm not convinced on a bounce yet. So now, gap rules in effect. So are we going for the gap fill and then possibly entertain the gap fill reversal? Yesterday's gap fill was nasty, messy, choppy. It happened, but you had to hold. You had to have balls of steel and hold. All right, so initial bounce, we attempted to flush below VWAP. VWAP held for that bounce. 530, I'm 10 points above that on the bounce now. A little late for entry. Let's wait and see what happens. So now we've established the low of that 15-minute opening range. Remember, we got news at 10 a.m. All right, so we are holding below the overnight range and now below previous day high. So bears are starting to set up their play. Maybe we get another push up. Test that 200. Bears taking control. Now we got to find if we're going to participate on this gap fill. What type of bounce do we want to hop on a short? Too early. So if we look at the range from the overnight high, from the overnight session, right, we came down and tested some of that, the lower, that 1 a.m. range down there. Unable to flush below that. Now attempting, we bounced at VWAP. We're back at that pivot point, that 550 area from yesterday that we talked about yesterday's short. That was the golden short from yesterday at 550 or 548. So we're at that pivot point now, the bulls are attempting to establish. They need to push with force if they're going to win. Otherwise, bears, selling pressure is building. VWAP's not holding. We're flushing below VWAP again. we're going to go test this low again, or this initial session low. Now the question is, how low will she go? Yesterday, unfortunately, we got a sloppy gap fill. If this is going to be a quick one, then we'll see it pretty quick. And then at that point, I'll probably look at the gap fill reversal. Or if we're finally in for some down, let's let it play all, let's let it do its thing. Right now, the question is, how low will she go? That will determine the bounce or continuation to the downside. All right, she's going for the she's going for the gap fill. Gaps love to be filled. So now we're watching for this area as, a quick flush for the gap fill. Pivot point is down there as well at 465. 465, where is that level? 465. So yesterday we didn't get the immediate, nice gap fill. Today it looks like we're getting it, and that's what the market does. Fools ya. All right. Little volume imbalance there, and that's the problem. Yesterday we had all these wicks. It's volume imbalance, and that's why it gets tricky at trading it. That doesn't mean it won't come down again. It's just very choppy. So you see these moves with continuous testing of moving averages. This makes position longer term positioning, or you just got to hold. You just got to have a direction of bias and hold. For scalping, you could get stopped out, even though you have the right idea. It's how much drawdown are you going to take, or if you're trading like Apex, how much drawdown in profit are you going to give up getting out of a position? All right, here we go. We had a little test of the 20, but continuing to push down. Five minutes for that 15-minute opening range to get established, and we got a pivot point again at 475. Comes close to that gap fill. Gaps love to be filled. So stronger gap fill today for sure. Yesterday was sloppy and nasty. I just couldn't find myself in the market yesterday. I was out of sync, and I probably did the right thing, stayed out. Sometimes your head's not in the game, or you're not in the game, whatever. It's never the market. The market gave opportunities, but sometimes you got to learn to accept it's you. You're not in sync. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So what's up with this? Okay, so we came to, NASDAQ loves its whole numbers, right? The 500s. 600, 700. So we attempted to flush below 500, got support there, and now an initial bounce. Looking at another chart here. Okay. So we didn't get the full gap fill. I was hoping we'd get a stronger pullback. We do have 10 a.m. news, so if I don't capture a trade pretty soon, then I'm going to be forced to wait. 10 a.m. news. Okay, got a little pattern building up here. So we're in a descending channel. We just tested the top of that. If you look at, I'll draw it afterwards. I'm just watching price action on another chart. But this is the top of that channel. This is the bottom. We're in a descending channel. Bears are moving it, even though we have this nasty volume imbalance there, but it is within a channel. So in other words, it's predictable chop. Next leg to this is 490. So let's see what happens down here. 490 level, 490, 495, till we get out of this descending selling algo. You know, if we're going for the gap fill, which we're not too far from now, we'll be it's a matter of watching this selling algo taking place right now. It's about let's see, 485, 20 point up and down, but we are in a channel. We are in a descending channel. Right? Boom, boom, and tops and lows have been respected. We're hitting that 500 level again. Next flush on this looks like 485. We'll hit 485 and potential another 20 point bounce. It's going to continue up and down like that. For you scalpers, capture the bottom of those. You're selling tops, you're selling pops, buying bottoms for 10-15 point scalps, and that channel is playing out nicely. All right, so we came down to 495. Now we'll test 520, 522. We'll test this area. If we continue back down, right, so that channel is being respected, we'll come back down. Or we break up. And then the bounce is in effect. But yesterday we had a couple fakes out of these descending channels, and that's why I couldn't get triggered. All right, so we found a little bit of basing here. At least NASDAQ is trying to trick us into believing this is basing. If we get the bounce here, then be it. Didn't go as low as I wanted. So remember yesterday we had something similar. We were watching for that gap fill, came down and then pushed right back up, and it was a nasty, messy gap fill. Eventually it did it, but you had to sustain a lot of chop. All right, so we came down to NASDAQ's whole numbers, that 500 level, and that held. At least for now, we're attempting to establish above VWAP. VWAP at 530. And bulls painting a picture of taking control. Okay, so the top of that channel, right back into it. So we were talking about this descending channel, another trap. We saw that yesterday, again, with those traps out of those selling algos. And anybody who thought that was the breakout and got in a little too early, well, you just got flushed. And I'm watching that channel on the, I'll draw it in a second. I just don't want to get distracted here. So again, 500 tested. We are seeing tapering. So tapering is usually your indication that reversal might be happening here on this selling channel. attempted to hit flush below 500 again, and no. So 2 rejections at the 20, but the 500 is holding. So we're slowly building liquidity for an eventual push out of these moving averages and come back and test some of these stronger resistance zones. A little choppy. Look at that 5-minute barcoding. So makes it tricky. Scalper's paradise. But I'm not interested in scalping just yet. Yesterday was definitely a scalper's paradise. I gave up after watching it for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Today I may have to adjust and accept non-directional moves and get into scalping mode, but I prefer not to. All right, so again, this descending channel, right? A selling algo is still in play. We have not broken out of it. We've actually respected pretty well those highs and lows of that descending channel. Until we break out, I'm hands off for upside or downside. Ascending channels tend to break to the upside. Ascending channels tend to break to the downside. So again, I think the gap fill reversal is still in play. Where that channel is guiding it right there. So we're about, a couple of moves up and down from finally capturing that gap fill reversal. And it all depends on the strength down there. Either it's a gap fill reversal or it's continuation to the downside. You do have a pivot point at 460. It's playing that channel. It's descending channel. It's playing out to the T right now. Up and down, up and down. But that's the chop, but it's predictable chop. You're in a selling algo, so. All right, but unable to make anything substantial below 500. I think we're going to get a nice little flush to that 485, 470 area. Quick little flush. There's that flush building. 50-minute opening range is established now. We're looking at this. All your orb players are watching this for a breakout to the downside. Question is, how many points there? If it's a gap fill and it's a gap fill reversal, then I don't know if I want to play a orb breakout to the downside for 20, 30 points. Let's see. But 20, 30 points for probably 50 in terms of risk. So right now, still not interested in the short at this point. All right, we're going to get the flush here. We're building for a flush, and that is the gap fill. Today was a cleaner gap fill, and yesterday was just messy, and today it played out. Watch the flush here for the gap fill. Watching that flush. Watch for the flush. There it is. Okay. Okay. Watching. So we got gap fill, and I'm sure the bears are going to want to exaggerate that a little bit. We may even come and test the overnight low. So I'm looking for this area, possible entry on the reversal. Okay, still playing that channel. NQ not giving that gap fill, not making it easy as usual. Little volume imbalance, coming back and testing those moving averages, still within the channel. I mean, if you were scalping this channel or holding through it, you only had one attempted breakout or a fake out. So far, it's played out. Okay, now we're attempting to break out of that again. That's I can't see a gap fill not happening this close, but NQ does what it wants to do, not what you want it to do. So I'm looking at this area as the first trade. I'm aware that it could come, it could flush even lower, but I'll attempt the first trade somewhere around. Okay, so now we're breaking out, so that thought process might be scratched. We didn't. NQ making it difficult. Didn't go as low as we wanted, and happens. We adjust. All right, so we're testing 20 SMA now. Now I have to change my thinking if we're not going to get the levels we were looking for. We're now on a 30 point bounce. Ugh. All right, looks like the bounce is playing out. Bummer. All right, that's my alarm. News in 5 minutes. I haven't taken a trade, so at this point, probably hands off. Let's wait for the news. And again, a little unlucky on the level. Bounce happened or playing out earlier. If this is just a bounce within the overall move to the downside, then we'll see some downside here. Then hopefully come back down to the levels we're looking for. If it breaks out of this, and you're technically out of that selling channel, and then we'll have to look for the next setup. Ooh. Ooh. Nice bounce. Bummer. All right, it happened earlier. We were looking for this area for the bounce, and NQ only came down to 475. Now we're testing VWAP, and we'll have to look for the next setup. If you're new to the stream, do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. I live stream from Arizona, so my times are 3 hours behind New York Eastern. And beautiful bounce playing out, V recovery that I just missed. But it didn't hit the level that I was looking for, and Q does that. So, gotta brush that aside and look for the next setup. Man, that's a V recovery right there. So bulls taking back control. Bears attempted the gap fill. Got pretty close. We'll consider that pretty damn close. And it was a cleaner gap fill versus yesterday. Yesterday was full of chop. Yeah, I mean, momentum's there for sure. Now it makes it complicated because I'll have to wait for some type of pullback, some type of level being tested. Although the bulls are in control, and that's your that's a momentum play here now. Don't like it. I don't want to do the FOMO entry, but sometimes you gotta ride momentum. Let's take a look at the 50-minute opening range breakout to the upside now. See what happens up there. So now we're hovering at the top of that 15-minute opening range. 10 a.m. news. Oh, that was the little pop for 10 a.m. news. Okay, got it. Let's see if the news holds and the catalyst for the up. Is that the catalyst that the bulls needed? All your orb players are watching this right now. They're setting up for that 15-minute opening range breakout. Let's let the news settle. The news can be the catalyst. We had a little pop on that news, probably what, 10 points, 10, 15 points. could be the catalyst that needed for the push up. Let's watch. Appreciate you, Super Earthman. Okay, so your orb players, the 50-minute opening range breakout players are watching this right now. Now, if we do push above overnight highs, bulls are in control, and we got unlimited space up there, probably all the way up to like 700. So if this is a 100-point move to the upside, I'm going to find some type of entry with trying to limit drawdown. All right, the suspense is building around the 15-minute opening range breakout. Every orb player is watching that right now. They got a couple points down here, but if they weren't quick to get out, was a look below and fail. Notice that 9 EMA. Boiling, providing that support to the upside. And gotta watch the fake out here. It did it twice this week. And the day that you hesitate, that's the day it breaks out cleanly. But we did get some fake outs this week already on the 50-minute range breakout. All right, it's starting to establish it. Every orb player is watching this right now. Getting tight. But it trapped lovely Monday and Tuesday. All right, so about a couple ticks above the opening range, trapping them. Now let's see if it's going to be a harsh pullback or just a test of this area. If it is that classic trap, it's done it Monday and Tuesday. Ooh, all right, so good. We didn't fall for that trap. 20-point drawdown if you entered. Taking some drawdown now. If you're riding it, then you're probably just going through that consolidation. Attempting to flush below the 9. Ooh. All right. It's full of traps today. Full of traps. So your early 15-minute opening range breakout players that have missed entries so far just got flushed down. You were riding this long and you got a nice entry down here. You got decisions to make. Nasty NASDAQ. Wow. All right. Just being nasty today. All right, looks like it's finding some support here, and if it's going to be the breakout of that 50-minute open range, this is where it needs to happen or build. I'm watching for that. If we're going to break down further to the downside, then another setup. Getting tight, getting tight. My God, look at that 15-minute candles. Jesus Christ, look at that. Wicking. 5-minute has calmed down a little bit. So far the play of the day was this bounce. Captured that, nice job. You were able to ride this descending channel or selling algo. That was a nice play as well if you stuck through that. This one clearly didn't get the level I wanted, but that was the cleanest play of the day so far. Orb players have been paying. Last 2 days, these breakouts on the 50-minute opening range have come with fake outs. They eventually play out, but you're holding. You're holding in drawdown. But it's a 71-point range. I mean, we're still not seeing anything crazy. I think yesterday's 15-minute opening range was 50 points, if I remember correctly. So it's still been forgiving regardless. Bad entries are, you're in drawdown, but the market has been forgiving and coming back and letting you get out at break even or less of a loss as long as you're not stubborn. All right, slowing down, and I'm still flat. No positions, no trades yet. All right, there's that bull flag formation, and now we're gonna finally push. All right, so if we look at the 5-minute, we've come and tested 200 SMA now 3 times, unable to establish above, but haven't rejected yet. So I think this is some building of the breakout to the upside. And now and that's what the market has been doing for the last 2 weeks. You have One or two quick directional plays, and then you're stuck in grind. Wah, wah, wah. All right, well, if you're new to the stream, do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. If you're enjoying my lack of trades this morning, do me a favor, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post content. I'm 3 hours behind. I live stream from Arizona, so my times are 3 hours behind New York Eastern. All right, another push up. Nasty NASDAQ, not making it easy today. One easy play. I'll give you that. I was hoping for the bounce down here, and once again, got caught watching it. Well, nasty NASDAQ looks like it wants that overnight high. It's tempting all the orb players. All your opening range breakout players are getting tempted up here. A little suspense building for that breakout. Breakout or the trap? Is it just building for the breakout, or building more bulls getting trapped up there and then woo, bye? So the 20 SMA and the 90 MA, nice and tight, very close. We fail here. This is that 550 level. Remember, this was yesterday's high, and this is where that short played out for the gap fill. So bulls need to hold that previous day high, critical level. That's why we're seeing a lot of indecision. We saw indecision around that level throughout the overnight. You would have thought it had built enough consolidation to break out by now, but that was a long consolidation right around that level. Looks like the pop is coming, right? You'll see a nice quick pop. Or maybe not. Definitely building suspense for your orb breakout players. Not making it easy for them. Getting tighter and tighter. We'll see a pop pretty soon. All right, the pop is coming. YouTube is telling me my stream has lag. Is that true? Are you guys getting some lag there? Suspense continues. Okay, thank you. I got a warning by YouTube that I got lag going on. So maybe a quick flush, like a liquidity grab and then the breakout, or more suspense. Pretty damn tight though. 10 points. If that. Chat, what do you guys think? A breakout of that 15-minute open range, or are we gonna flush right back down? Breakout or flush? I love it. I love the non-committed answer. I think up, maybe. I think and maybe. Hey, it could go either way. I would think the same way. Indecisive. Wait for the breakout to happen, right? Or the failure. Nice little suspense being built on this breakout for sure. $30 now in that 10 point. And Q looking for the pop. That's true. Every trade is 50-50. Managing your risk. All right. Looks like we're, man, not making it easy. No pop yet. Wow. But when it goes with this much consolidation. Look at that extended breakout. Did you build enough liquidity to break out? Come on, NQ. All right, there it goes. We'll pop up to that overnight high and let's see what happens up here then. There's the breakout. I mean, if you can call that a breakout. Not what I'm used to seeing, but nonetheless, it's above. NQ, NQ, NQ. Not making it easy. Not making it easy. All right. This needs something. It needs a liquidity sweep. It needs either a push, a pop, a flush, something to get us excited. Ooh, was that the trap? Was that the trap? Still in range, so nothing to go crazy about. It's still in this consolidation zone, right? Still expected chop. Nothing to go crazy if you're in a long. Still not giving it up, right? If anything, that's a nice bounce. I mean, in today's movements of NQ, that's a nice bounce, but I got to adapt to 10-minute bounce candles. I'm used to 20, 30, and that's why I'm like uninterested, but it's going to take time to adapt. And then when I finally do adapt, the markets start moving fast again. I mean, that is a extended 15-minute opening range breakout. And NQ rewards patience, right? All right, here goes the breakout. We'll pop to that overnight high, and then we'll see what she does up there. Unless it'll be brutal if it drags this breakout this long, trapping, and then you get a flush, a nasty flush. I don't think so, but we'll see. Back into range. Testing that 9 EMA. The 9 EMA has been supporting it, but let's see. NQ, testing your patience if you're in that long, right? 7 a.m. Now, if you got in on a long riding this up, you're golden. You don't have to make decisions until you see a break to the downside. Otherwise, just ride it. Ride it. NQ building suspense. Look at this now. Slow grind up, which said over and over, it's my Achilles heel. I can't Can't seem to, I mean, I got 2 winning trades Monday and Tuesday. I walked out in the green. Wednesday was a draw. And today I'm stuck in this again. The grind, the grind. It's an ascending channel still, right? It's still moving up within this channel, but Jesus Christ. You gotta earn your points with this market. Oh man. Unbelievable. Again, we are in this ascending buying channel. It's a grinding up, but it's moving. You move 1 point up and you test 8 points down. Oh. Messing with your patience here. Well, if you're new to the stream, do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. I trade from Arizona, 3 hours behind New York Eastern. Every day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, I'm live streaming Nasty NASDAQ, trying to get trades. Oh boy, the stair stepping. Dude, am I going to have to take a course on stair stepping to finally be able to accept this price action? Come on, a little liquidity sweep down here. Hold. Come on, push, flush. Give us something. And if it just grinds up, then I'm going to have to take a class on Nasty NASDAQ Stair Stepping 101. And there's the pop. Tested overnight high. Probably a little test of those EMAs again. It's a stair step, and if I want to participate in this, I'm going to have to accept. Ooh, there it is. There's the pop. But popped above overnight high. Little pullback. Little pullback. That push is holding. So a little pop and now consolidation. That's what it's been doing all week. Pop, consolidation, pop, consolidation. Okay, so we popped above overnight high. Now we're testing overnight high. That's good. If it holds, then we continue the push up. I'm back to just so moving average dependent. Every move has to be tested. So very little continuation, and it's low volume trading. You gotta play the grind. Push up, test the top of a channel, comes back down to test the moving average, then a push up. You just got to be able to grind your way through these moves. Something I'm going to have to get used to, or wait for volatility. All right, so we had that little push up above the overnight high, came back and tested, came back and got some moral support from the 9 EMA. Yes, you're good, continue to push. So it's basically that for the last hour. Pops, come back and test. Pops, come back and test. Right? Everything's been tested on these moving averages, which makes it frustrating because there's no continuation within a channel. And we've been playing buying and selling channels for quite some time now. See how far this test will come. Are we going to test the 50-minute opening range? Top of that, or playing this ascending channel using the midline of that ascending channel as the base. It has been holding throughout this play, coming down here, right? The middle of that channel has been holding. Even with this pop up, it came back down and tested the 9 EMA. Right now holding. Let's see. Frustrating when you have a nice pop up like this without continuation. It just forces you into channel trading. Okay. So tricky with that look above and fail. Trappy. All right, we are at the bottom of this ascending channel. This would be the test. In other words, we're still in an ascending channel, just came back to test a little pullback, and then we continue to the upside. All right, so it respected the bottom of that channel, the ascending channel that I've been talking about, right? You draw this on your charts, that's the bottom, the top in here, and it's been playing out. But they've been stair-stepping it. Bears like to take the elevator down, so let's see how this plays out. Tricky. Really, okay, here we go. Are we going to get out of that channel now? We finally have a stronger pullback. Let's see. I mean, normal market, this is momentum. You continue. But with this continuous testing, take a pullback, you go up, you take a pullback, you go up, and it's just a grind up. Nasty NASDAQ, testing everyone's patience. Decisions. Oh. Wow. Wow. Nasty trap. Nasty trap. Trap to the bottom, trap to the top. One directional play. Let's see if this is the pullback or the bull flag for the push up. Fourth of July is coming up, and 4th of July will be nasty that week. 4th of July week is high volatility because you have all your Wall Street in the Hamptons. So the volume imbalance is even wider. So you'll have 50, 60 point 1 minute candles back and forth because no one's trading it. But it's going to be volatile for the wrong reasons, not because of volume, because lack of volume. Oh boy, nasty NASDAQ. Fake out after fake out. One directional play. Unfortunately, I was looking for this area for the bounce. It is what it is. And based on what we've seen with NASDAQ, that's all it gives it during the open. One directional play, and then it's chop fest. Came back to test the top of that 15-minute opening range. If we come back into range, oh boy. So this was the range for this initial bounce, right? We hovered there for a little bit, finally broke in, but now we're coming back into that range. And then how low, how far will she go now? This fake out was nasty. Nasty NASDAQ. See what happens in this range. Is it just building consolidation for further upside? And but notice the descending channel we're in now, right? We were in this buying channel, and now we hop right into a descending channel. Or your bull flag. Extended for sure. And that might be all she gives us today in terms of, all right, here we go. We're attempting to break out of that bull flag or selling algo. All right, this little descending channel. Now we're attempting to break out of that. What is this? Very slow, very slow. But that's the problem. If you don't capture that quick move during the open, then you're stuck in grinds. And it's been doing that for almost 2 weeks, not more. One directional play, and if you didn't capture that, adios. See if there's yep. Well, this is frustrating. Okay, so we had that pop. We took the normal pullback, didn't push any further. Now I got to make decisions if I want to participate in this for further upside or call it a day. If nasty NASDAQ does want to move up and it's just a grind of a day, there's a lot of points you can capture to the upside, but it's almost like hop on along and let it ride. All right, nasty NASDAQ going nowhere. Do me a favor, if you're new to the stream, smash that like. If you're enjoying me not taking trades, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. Frustrating price action. We had one directional move and then building some suspense. So in the meantime, smash that like, smash that subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post content. I'm doing the New York session every day. Monday and Tuesday, we got some nice green live, and now I'm stuck in this analysis paralysis with slow grind days. Hopefully you guys made out a little better with your scalps. If you guys caught this long, that was the play of the day. Super Earthman, bro, $60 in the green is $60 in the green. Congrats. And now the party is slow down. So now questions in terms of the rest of the afternoon. Are we simply at the top of this range and then we flush right back down and continue ranging? Are the bulls building consolidation for the upside? I'm pretty much undecided. Wah, wah, wah. No, you're not kidding, Earthman. It's slow down. If you didn't capture the moves, well, you were just watching like me. Wow, really slow. Nasty NASDAQ going nowhere. All right, let's, again, I'm 3 hours behind New York Eastern. So my time's, not that I'm live streaming from the past. It's 8 a.m. here in Arizona. I wake up at the crack of dawn. New York Open is 6:30 a.m. for me. And we're going to see if I'll stay on for another 20 minutes, half an hour, and see if NASDAQ wakes up. If not, flat for the day. Missed this directional move. We had one directional move. You had this attempt for the gap fill with chop. It was choppy, but it respected the chop. In other words, that descending channel. And then this one was a nice move that I missed. I was hoping for a pullback down to this area, and it didn't happen. And then now we're here in this mess of price action. So let's see if there's any waking up. Otherwise, gotta accept I missed the move and move on for tomorrow or later in the afternoon. If you're new to the stream and enjoying this slow price action, do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. Help me out with the YouTube algo. And like I said, I'll do this every day, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, Arizona, 9:30, or I start at 9:15 a.m. Eastern and attempt to trade the New York Open. Every now and then I'll hop on the Asia session, only because there's less competition, more viewers. But slowly plugging away here during the live stream, New York. All right, I guess it's time to take a look at Fox News. Let's see if we got anything going on in the world. Nothing really. Yeah, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. I know you got a lot of talented traders to watch. There's a lot of talent out there live streaming the New York Open. So for those of you tuned in, thank you. And I will do this every day with 5 viewers, 10 viewers, slowly building my community here. Of course, it's easier during the overnight. You get a lot more viewers, but I'm not after the views. I'm just another trader just doing it live. Win, lose, or draw. All right, this is really slow though. And what is it, 8 a.m., 9, 10, 11 a.m. Eastern, so we're getting close to lunch hour. Now I got some errands today. I got some things to do, so I'll probably be running around Arizona today, and then come back tomorrow. Again, I appreciate everyone that's tuned in, everyone that's been supporting the channel. We're going to do this little by little every day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Now we're stuck. We stuck. All right, NASDAQ just moved 7 points. That's big. What's it going to do now? And hovering right at the top of that 15-minute opening range. Is this it for the bulls? And now the bears take control, and look at this range as the overall high of this. It's hard. It's hard when we're so close to all-time highs. So nasty NASDAQ in a standstill, very tight. Who knows? Maybe this is just consolidation and we finally get the ripper. So far, this was the play of the day, that directional play. If you were going for the gap fill and you were able to hold through this selling algo, right? It respected the selling channel throughout the move down. It was just choppy, but that was another nice short. But this one, biting my lip for not hopping on that one. All right, so looks like nasty NASDAQ getting out of this consolidation zone, right up here. So maybe today is just a day to get in long, take a little bit of heat here and there, and ride it. Okay, another test of overnight high. Is this finally the breakout and NQ has built enough liquidity? Took the pullback, built some consolidation, and we finally break out with some stronger moves to the upside. Let's see. Let's see. For now, pretty slow though. I'd like to see some continuation finally. We take another pullback and another test. Just turns me off. And I gotta be aware, it's just not. Slowly grinding up. So it looks like today is just hop on along and ride it for a couple hours, and you'll probably be comfortably in the green. I don't think I have the patience. I might be calling it pretty soon. But again, I do appreciate everybody who tuned in. I know you got a lot of live streamers, a lot of talented traders out there live. So thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the stream, I know everybody hops on and off. Do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. More importantly, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post content. And I'll be here tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Looks like this breakout is happening now. Gonna be a grind. You're gonna have to be willing to ride that. And you might get rewarded, or most likely will get rewarded. Ooh, okay, here we go. We're testing. So it's a stair-step move, and it could play out for the rest of the afternoon. I don't think I'm interested in staying that long in a position. I didn't do it when it was quick. I don't think I'm going to do it now. And if we take this back down again, oh, NQ, man. It's doing this nasty price action. One beautiful directional move. I unfortunately stayed watching it, and that's all NQ gave today. Other than that, you're in chop and holding. Chop and holding. Wow. Got awfully quiet. I mean, it's slowly grinding. You are in a little ascending channel here, no matter how you want to look at it. It is slowly grinding up. You got the patience for that. Well. Yeah, I'm biting my tongue. This was a play. I missed that big time. Is what it is. Sometimes you catch them, sometimes you miss them right in front of you. Peter, yeah, you're right. It's been continuous test of the 9 EMA for most of the plays. So you get a push up, you come back and test, push up, come back and test. So it's these channels, they've been playing out. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to adapt or wait for price action we're all waiting for on NQ. I think I'm just going to accept that I missed the play of the day for whatever the reason and call it a day. The longer I stay, the more I want to FOMO in or get myself into a trade with no setup. So once again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Friday, we'll see if we capture some green. So far, a wah day again for me. No position, no trades. Analysis paralysis here, and what are you gonna do? It's a good question, Andrew. I was watching for this level. Obviously, the bears were going for the gap fill. I was looking for the gap fill reversal around here, and it just didn't play out. It came close, and the bulls picked it up quicker. And then I got stuck in analysis paralysis. An entry could have been here, the breakout of this descending channel, right? You were in the gap fill play on a short in this descending channel. The breakout of that, if you were ballsy and you took this, you made some nice green. If you waited, the breakout of that descending channel, why I didn't, I don't know. I'll have to let it go. Sometimes you're gonna miss trades and that's it. Big deal. Big deal. Just like a loss. You got a boo, big deal. We'll come back tomorrow. But in terms of this was the area I was looking for. And this ascending channel is slowly playing up. You got the patience for that. It sounds like the bulls are just going to grind it up for the rest of the day. And another day of NASDAQ. One quick move during the open, and then you're stuck in chop. We'll see what tomorrow brings us. All right, guys, I'm going to call it. Thanks again for tuning in. If you haven't done so, do that. Smash that like, smash that subscribe. I will see you all tomorrow. And thank you again for tuning in. I know there's a lot of options out there. Better traders, talented traders. Thank you.